For the past 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, Nigeria has been having challenges that are beckoning and waiting for answers and solutions. That is why we are bringing to you our program, State of the Nation. And this is going to come up on our flagship program this morning on ITV. I am hereby inviting you to join me, Bola Bakare, your host, on State of the Nation, so that we can hasten the motions that brings national development. It's going to be a regular basis on Tuesdays. Make it a date with me. I'll be there waiting for you, and then we shall discuss Nigeria on an holistic level.
Morning and welcome to your lofty station ITV, where we bring you your lofty program this morning on ITV. I want to inculcate something into you. We call it TMI, that is this morning on ITV. And on our brief chat this morning, we shall dwell on two factors that are very, very topical. The first of which is our currency that is going to be rebranded within the next couple of months. And secondly, the element of the security alert and what we are doing about it. In terms of our currency, there are do's, don'ts, there are advantages and disadvantages. What we're talking about here this morning is simple. We want you to form an opinion based on your thinking. There is no room for us to force feed you with what you do not want to hear. You will hear. It is our duty to broadcast and pass on the information, because information is key. And that is our duty, and that is what we're going to pass on to you. The Central Bank of Nigeria has said we are going to rebrand our notes based on technicalities that is the purview of the CBN. Don't forget, the CBN is an autonomous body, an arm of government. And as such, it has that little right of saying, okay, your performance is needed. Make sure you do your own bit. Make sure you're part of the equation. You're that little fraction of the equation that makes the general Nigeria. But the thing and the question is, let's start from the home front, from the government level first. Lately, we heard from the Honorable Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, saying she was not carried along. And also the response of the CBN governor is, it is my prerogative, and all the authority that I need stems from Mr. President. And Mr. President has given me that go-ahead to go ahead and effect it. Now let's sit back a little bit and take a cursory look about all the advantages and the disadvantages. Let's talk from the angle of the CBN governor. Why he is doing this. He has reeled out figures that there is too much of our currency, paper currency, in circulation. And most of those currency in circulation are not doing what currencies are supposed to do. And that is, currencies are supposed to build the economy, vis-a-vis by the element of trade. I buy from you, you buy from me, prices increase, I render a service, I render a sale, and then we exchange the money. The money is not supposed to sit down stagnant doing nothing, because that does not aid the economy. I hope you understand that. Money sitting down somewhere does not aid the economy. The money has to be dynamic enough to create dynamism within the economy. The CBN is saying too much of our funds are out there, and most of them are not productive. For which the CBN governor went ahead and said, lately we've been having, it's a bad one, serious cases of banditry, kidnappings here and there. Ransom are being paid in millions, if not in trillions these days if we run a calculation. And most of these funds, because the people know that what they are doing is dubious and against the law, most of these monies are kept somewhere and spent in bits. In other words, What he is saying is, by the time we change the currency, we will force them to bring out those funds they have kept. And we will be ready for them. NFIU will be ready for them. There is a stable law in the banking sector that if you are a corporate body, if you exceed 5-10 million, CBN should be informed. You should be flagged. If you're a personal person, you lodge in some money and it exceeds a ceiling, the account should be flagged. Honestly, if we follow these rules and you are in business for good, you need not be afraid. Because if I render a service and I'm being paid 100, 200 million and I put the money in my account and it becomes flagged, the money can easily be traced back to who gave me the job, who I rendered the service to before I got paid that huge sum of money. You're free. But what happens to a man who picks up 100, 200 million in ransom money? It's either he will have to source for people in the banking system that are going to help him launder that money. It's either he's going to go for people in the parallel market that is going to turn that his money into foreign currency. Or the stupid one of all is going to keep the money probably in a sockaway or in a water tank. These are the factors we are trying to negate. We're trying to bring our monies back home. We're trying to discourage the people, the bad people, from doing things. Because when I say bad people, the kidnappers taking ransoms are bad people. The people looting our treasury are bad people. In most cases, they can't take the monies anywhere. It's either they convert it to foreign currency or they go keep it. We've had situations of even high-ranking officers keeping our monies in soccerways and in overhead water tanks. But at the same time, some school of thought is saying, if you mop up these currencies, my everyday people that do not have direct access to the banking system, do not practice that element of electronic banking, they will be shortchanged. Honestly, we did some good survey. And then we found out that there are some people that do not, as we speak in Nigeria, do not do electronic banking. They don't transfer any money. They go there, they exchange. The exchange is cash-based. Urban centers, suburban areas, cities, and the rest of them, they might be doing e-banking. But for God's sake, you need to go back to your village and ask that your aunt or your mother or your grandmother how she does her business. Simple. When you come back home, she will tell you, my son, you need to give me some money so that I can feed myself. And you're going to give her cash. Because even the telephone that she is using, if she has one, is just good enough for calls. When it comes to SMSs, she can't even write. So that element is there. I guess these are factors the CBN should look into that. My everyday people that are not into electronic banking, how do you get back at them? Some school of thought again is saying the period is short. Too short. It's a good one. It's an opinion. But at the same time, if you have nothing to hide, I believe that most of your money should be in the banking system. So if your money is in the bank, it's quite easy. When they're going to pay you, they pay you in new currencies. And honestly, there are some bad angles to it. There was a religious cleric that said, oh, if you mop up the Naira, you'll be forcing bandits to demand dollars. Brothers and sisters, fellow Nigerians, what a statement. I repeat, what a statement. Isn't that flying a kite for bandits? That okay, if you don't pay me in Naira, if I can't access, if I can launder my money, I will ask for a currency that doesn't need laundering. Those are the kind of situations we find ourselves. And honestly, we need to give it a thought. We sure need to give it a thought. We are all Nigerians. This is a democracy. Our thoughts count. Honestly, it counts. You might think, oh, well, we're just saying it doesn't count. But there are people listening. It counts in a while. But let's give the CBN governor the benefit of the doubt within that short period. Honestly, another thing some school of thought are saying is the period is too short. But from our angle, from our findings, Some school of thought again are saying you need to make it short so that we can catch those bad currencies where they are hidden. It will be difficult for you if you're not a corporate entity to bring 200,000 into the banking system within that short period. You will lose some of them, or else you will be flagged. My fellow Nigerians, we are thinking about it. We are waiting for it. Whichever way the thoughts of people are, let's give the CBN a chance to do this. Let's look at the advantages and then sit back and look at the disadvantages if we can succumb them. I am a positive thinker. I look at things from a positive angle. I feel there is nothing wrong in changing our currency so that we can have something good to lean on. We really, really, really need it. The economy, it's not just our economy alone. It's a global thing. It's all over the place. It's everywhere. In America, prices are going on, inflation is there, and then people are saying, oh no, it's midterm elections, and then things are going to happen the way they want. Instead they change, they switch from Democrats to Republicans or this or that, all in the name of trying to stabilize the economy. So whatever is happening in Nigeria, we are not in it alone. It is a global phenomenon. And then we will and we shall overcome.